Gore Road. Caller reporting June 3rd, 2025. 4:15 p.m. Taylor Park. Officer reporting he is making contact with P.J. Stanhope Jr. to serve a trespass from Walgreens. 4:30 p.m. Walmart. Caller reporting there is a male struggling to ride a bicycle by the garden center, and she believes he is intoxicated. At 4:39 p.m., another caller reporting he is laying on the ground with a bicycle laying on top of him. At 4:55 p.m., responding officer asking for AmCare, stating his name is Mark. At 5:18 p.m., the officer gave him a courtesy ride home. 6:15 p.m., Family Dollar. Employee reporting that Kelly Champagne just stole air fresheners and took off. She is wearing black pants and a long-sleeve pink shirt. 6:41 p.m., Beverage Mart. Caller reporting there is a female laying on the ground that is possibly under the influence. At 6:54 p.m., a female named Kristen is in custody, and they are headed to the hospital. She can be heard yelling in the background. 6:54 p.m., Bank Street. Caller reporting there is a dark-colored van doing burnouts. 8:41 p.m. The hospital. Employee calling to report that a male walked out before being discharged and might still have an IV in his arm. Dispatch mentions that Williston PD brought him there, and they will call them to let them know. 1:07 a.m. South Main Street. Caller reporting that a male named Jonelle tried to choke her. Her and her mother are currently outside in their vehicle, and the male is still inside the apartment. At 1:10 a.m., it's reported that Jonelle took off and is darker in complexion, tall, and skinny. At 1:31 a.m., the responding officer reports he is checking Fairfield Hill. At 1:35 a.m., the caller reports there is a knife missing from the apartment. June 4th, 2025. 2:29 p.m. Walmart. Employee reporting that Jordy Leclerc is trespassed and currently in their store. At 2:35 p.m., she took off in a vehicle with other people. At 2:49 p.m., everyone in the vehicle has been trespassed from the store, including a Jessica Hunt. 3:30 p.m. Unknown location. Caller reporting there is a gray Ford headed towards St. Albans that is all over the road. 5:23 p.m. Gore Road. Caller reporting there is a motorcycle that is speeding up and down the street. 5:40 p.m. Unknown location. Caller reporting his daughter just tried running out of the house half-clothed and is having a mental health episode. He called crisis, but they are currently busy. 6:36 p.m. 8.T and T. Employee reporting that someone just stole speakers from their store and took off. 7 p.m. Unknown location. Alan Boomhoer claimed to an officer that he was just assaulted. The officer reports that he has a gash on his head. At 7:11 p.m., the officer is bringing him to the hospital. 7:15 p.m., Pearl Street. Caller reporting that there were people walking around his property past his gate, and he doesn't know who they are. 8:04 p.m., unknown location. Caller reporting that Richard King is currently in an active fight and Jeremy Phillips is involved. At 8:06, Jeremy took off when the responding officer arrived. At 8:09 p.m., a court date was given to Richard. June 5th, 2025. 2:12 p.m., Routine Nutrition. Caller reporting there was a minor car accident. No injuries. 2:30 p.m., South Main Street. Caller reporting there is a male becoming agitated and he has a gun. 6 p.m., Route 104. Caller reporting there is a purple Corolla swerving. 9 p.m., unknown location. Caller reporting there has been a suspicious vehicle that has been driving by her home a lot and even sat at her driveway one time. June 6, 2025. 11:12 a.m., Lake Street. An officer reporting he is looking for a female in a yellow shirt. Unknown details. At 11:19 a.m., the officer is making contact with Michaela Ellis. At 11:20 a.m., she was arrested for an EB or ED. 11:16 a.m., Cedar Street. Caller reported that Dustin Davenport and Dustin Paquette just threatened to rob Toy with a gun, and Amanda robbed Toy should be with the two men. Dispatch reports that Amanda has a $300 bail and a warrant out for simple assault and violation of probation. At 11:35 a.m., the officer is making contact with her. At 11:37 a.m., the officer asks if the courthouse has room for them right now. At 11:42 a.m., she has been arrested. 11:35 a.m., fourth floor south tower of the parking garage. Unknown details. At 11:39, the responding officer asks for a 99 check on a Katie Barkium. Dispatch reports she has no warrants and is not currently trespassed from the parking garage. At 11:45 a.m., the officer issued her a trespass and moved her along. 12 p.m., Nason Street. Caller reporting that there was a possible assault that happened because a male looks injured and is with another male. Both of them are up and walking around currently. 4:52 p.m., Brickyard on Federal Street. Employee calling saying they need a trespass for Dan Moss the dog beater from all of Stewart's properties. He's not there now, but was earlier and they called previously, but the trespass has not been served. An officer responded saying he got an email about that and is on it. 5:48 p.m., Swanton Road. Caller reporting that a male got out of his black car with a knife and threatened another vehicle with it. At 5:49 p.m., the male turned onto Hefflon Lane. 10:12 p.m., 56 Federal Street. An officer reporting that he is responding to make contact with Dan Moss the dog beater to serve a trespass for all Stewart's properties. 11:33 p.m., Bank Street. Caller reporting there are two low-rider vehicles that have been racing and up and down the street and were last seen heading east. June 7, 2025, 10:20 a.m., Post Office parking lot. Caller reporting there was a minor car accident. 10:27 a.m., Complex parking lot. Caller reporting there was a two-car accident and a female operator is threatening to use a gun on the other person in the accident. 10:41 a.m., Fairfax Road. Caller reporting there was someone was doing donuts and struck the church building last night, and they have footage. June 8, 2025, 5:45 p.m., Walgreens. Employee calling for a late reported retail theft that happened 25 minutes ago. At 5:50 p.m., a Jonathan.M. was cited and given a court date. 8:39 p.m., Fisher Pond Road. Caller reporting that her ex put his hands on her. June 9, 2025, 2:53 p.m., SAPD. Dispatch reporting that Dan Moss the dog beater is currently in the lobby looking to report fraudulent charges on his debit card. 3:34 p.m., Walgreens. Employee reporting that a male stole one of their baskets full of items, including batteries. He also shoved a customer that had confronted him and then took off. He was last seen heading towards Planet Fitness. The customer is not hurt. 3:55 p.m., SAPD. Dispatch reporting there is a male in the lobby reporting that his son got off the bus and was threatened by another juvenile. 6:27 p.m., South Main Grocery. Caller reporting there was a possible altercation between three females. One of them is Lindsay Little. 6:31 p.m., City School parking lot. Caller reporting that someone with the last name Paquette is threatening people with pepper spray. 7:01 p.m., Rugg Street. Caller reporting her son ran away last night and still hasn't come home yet. 12:06 a.m., North Elm Street. Caller reporting that someone just jumped into their Chevy Silverado truck and was last seen heading towards Main Street. The truck is completely missing the driver's side tail light. At 1:05 a.m., the responding officer reports he was not able to find the vehicle and would like to keep the BOL active for now. June 10, 2025, 1:07 p.m., Bellevue Carriage Road. Caller reporting her husband is currently going through alcohol withdrawals and is having hallucinations, and no one is home with him right now. 4:58 p.m., South Main Street. Caller reporting there is a silver hatchback that is broken down. 5:51 p.m., Switchyard on Lake Street. Employee calling to report two people with very full backpacks took items and then ran to the bathroom. 6:14 p.m., LaSalle Street. Caller reporting that a male in a blue shirt riding a bicycle was making comments about her body and circling her. She got a picture of him with her phone. 6:34 p.m., the responding officer was unable to make contact with the male. 7:01 p.m., Walmart. Employee reporting that Christy Dumont is in their store with a large duffel bag and she is currently trespassed. 10:11 p.m., Nason Street. Caller reporting that Jenny Pecor and another female are walking down the street, trying door handles of vehicles and going through some. 4:49 p.m., Campbell Bay Road in Swanton. Caller reporting there has been an accident and one vehicle is smoking and in the water. The occupants are still inside the vehicle. At 5 p.m., everyone is out of the vehicle and there are no injuries. 9:10 p.m., South Main Street. Caller reporting that a male just fell face first onto the ground and is now stumbling around and yelling. At 9:19 p.m., the responding officer reports that the male is Chris Lesperance, born in 1974. Dispatch reports that he is known to be combative. 10:47 p.m., unknown location. Caller reporting that someone named Allen was just assaulted but hung up before dispatch could get more details. 12:09 a.m., Twigs. Caller named Margot reporting she's seeing a light flashing in a tree near the restaurant, but she doesn't know if it was a flashlight, a tree light, or a cruiser light. At 2:48 a.m., she called again about the same thing. June 11th, 2025, 4:09 p.m., Russell Street. Caller reporting that she has been being harassed on Facebook. 4:34 p.m., Fairfield Street. Caller reporting there are a couple of suspicious people across from the church entrance loitering around the parish hall. At 4:40 p.m., the responding officer reports that one of the males is named Jesse Jr. And he recently got an email stating that a trespass needs to be issued to him for Burger King. 6 p.m., Thornton Drive in Highgate. Caller reporting she is outside with her kids and there is a male firing guns in his backyard. It is making them feel uncomfortable. 6:53 p.m., Stoll Street. Caller reporting that a female named Beverly threw herself to the ground intentionally. Dispatch is sending AmCare. 7:14 p.m., Bishop Street. Caller reporting that an off-leash dog ran into her yard and attacked her dog, leaving puncture wounds. 7:18 p.m., Ashton Drive. Caller reporting there is currently a domestic disturbance going on that happens often, but this time she can hear a juvenile crying. 7:57 p.m., Walmart. Caller reporting there is a juvenile on a red dirt bike driving at high rates of speed and doing wheelies. 8:41 p.m., Carter Hill Road in Highgate. Caller reporting he saw someone on his trail camera for his property, so he went out and told him to leave the area. The guy seemed like he was leaving with no issue, but then pulled out a gun and fired off a few rounds into the air. 9:15 p.m., Federal Street. Caller reporting that a male just assaulted a female. At 9:16 p.m., they report that the couple have a white dog with them and are walking towards Lower Newton Passing Brickyard. 9:41 p.m., unknown location. Caller reporting that Joseph Goodrow is no longer missing and is back home with his family. The officer responds with, "That's good news." 12:32 a.m., Federal Street. Caller reporting there is a black male wearing a red shirt and black pants that is currently in front of the co-op, and he has been peeping into windows.